What's your guilty pleasure?
Working out to One Direction.
Just when you thought Harry Styles couldn't get any more iconic, he's now officiated himself as an actor among his many working titles. Harry seems to be killing the game in all aspects, and his latest stems from his works in Don't Worry Darling and My Policeman. I'm your host Michaela, let's jump right in. Harry Styles found fame through his audition as a member of his former musical group One Direction. The British musician took the world by storm alongside his bandmates with his rugged curly hair and boyish charm. Even though One Direction is no longer together, Harry continues to make music as a very successful soloist. What's your favorite Harry Styles song? Let me know in the comments below. Born Harry Edward Styles is the world's favorite English singer-songwriter who is most popular for being a collective of his famous former pop rock band One Direction. His parents Anne Cox and Desmond Styles conceived Harry on February 1st, 1994 in Redditch. Harry's parents share a daughter alongside Harry named Gemma. Harry saw his parents separate when he was 7. Most of Harry's formative years were spent growing up in Holmes Chapel, Cheshire, alongside his mother and sister. He received his education through the Holmes Chapel Comprehensive School. Long before Harry was a world-famous musician, he had childhood dreams that stemmed from his fascination with music. Harry enjoyed singing as a hobby and took his practice as far as performing as the lead singer in his school's band White Eskimo, which went on to win various competitions. Reportedly, Harry's earliest influences were artists Elvis Presley, Freddie Mercury, and the Beatles. There was even a point in time when Harry supported himself as a part-timer for Holmes Chapel's Mandeville Bakery. Harry was said to be gifted when it came to music, as he was heavily immersed in the field at a young age. His musical debut was through his audition for a spot on the well-publicized reality singing competition show The X-Factor. Harry's deep understanding of music and his natural abilities to grasp its many concepts branded him one of the judges' favorites. And despite Harry not making it to the judges' house round, he was later formulated in a new group he would later name as the famously known One Direction. Harry, being the youngest, didn't stop the worldwide attraction he received while in the group, quickly being dubbed as a fan favorite member. In the time that the group mates spent together, they broke massive records several times over and soon became the only boy band to have its first 4 albums obtain a #1 spot in the US. With this, 1D also became the first boy band in US chart history to land 2 #1 albums in a calendar year. Amid the hiatus, Harry moved on to pursue his solo career and signed a record deal with Columbia Records. Moreover, Harry made appearances in TV and film for on-screen works like iCarly, One Direction, This Is Us, and Dunkirk. Harry Styles' career began in 2010 through his X-Factor experience. After the freshly created group made it to the judges' home with their first and qualifying song called Torn, their brilliant performance was enough to gain them popularity in the UK. As one of the show's biggest contenders, it was a shock to many that the boys finished out the competition in 3rd place during the 7th season. However, 1D was later signed by Simon Cowell's Cinco Music Records for a contract with an extended $2 million worth. In February 2011, One Direction dropped a self-titled book called Forever Young, which allowed fans to get a first-hand breakdown of their X-Factor journey. It took on the top spot for the Sunday Times bestseller list. Following this, 1D joined X-Factor's live tour with various UK performances. Once this was complete, the world was gifted with the band's debut album Up All Night in 2011. This debuted at #2 on the UK albums chart and served as a double whammy for the UK's fastest-selling debut album of that year. The leading track, What Makes You Beautiful, scored the top spot on the UK singles chart. Up All Night was further dubbed as the quote 3rd global best-selling album of 2012 with sales of 4.5 million copies. Riding off the success of their first solo album, 1D continued to top charts and make timeless hits with their other bodies of works, listed as Take Me Home, Midnight Memories, 4, and Made in the AM. The leading singles for these, Live While We're Young, Steal My Girl, Night Changes, Drag Me Down, History, and Perfect, all became historic chart toppers and broke massive records. Up All Night and follow-up album Take Me Home became the 3rd and 5th best-selling albums of 2012 in the US. This record was the band's first act of placing 2 musical bodies of work in the year-end top 5 during the Nielsen SoundScan era. In 2013, their This Is Us Morgan Spurlock-directed documentary was released and grossed over $68 million across the globe. The unfortunate departure news that former bandmate Zayn Malik was leaving the group arose in March 2015, and despite the sadness surrounding it, the members proceeded to work on and release their final album before their self-imposed hiatus. Made in the AM came out November 2015 and accumulated some of the band's most favored reviews according to critics. The last album also topped the UK albums chart at number 1 and sat nicely at number 2 on the Billboard's 200 charts. After the group's official hiatus broke away, Harry moved into pursuing his solo career in the music industry. He signed a Columbia Records deal in June 2016 and later made collaborations with several artists. His contribution penning lyrics for Johnny McDade by Snow Patrol and Ryan Tedder by One Republic, alongside features with other artists like Ariana Grande and Michael Bublé, amassed Harry even more Hollywood popularity. In his time as a soloist, this artist has released 3 studio albums, 1 EP, 1 visual album, 12 leading singles, 10 music videos, and a lonesome promotional single. Some of these have topped the US Billboard 200 and scored certified platinum worldwide. He's also hosted world tours and won several awards, including 4 MTV VMAs and 7 Brit Awards. Outside of music, Harry has driven his success through more on-screen work, like his acting debut in Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk action thriller. This 2017 movie made major headlines. However, Harry is even more successful in the romance department, fully embracing his Casanova image for his various hookups. This romance chain began in 2011 when he dated the late TV presenter Caroline Flack until 2012, with their massive age difference of 17 and 32 disrupting social media's peace of mind. Then there were other famous personalities like Cara Delevingne, Lily Halpern, and Rita Ora to add to the list. But his most prolific relationship at that point was his link to pop star Taylor Swift in December 2012. The two had a massively reported romance until January 2013. From here, Harry has also seen Kendall Jenner and Nadine Leopold, and that was only a brief rundown of his romantic affairs. Harry's most groundbreaking work as of today, however, is his actively long-standing advocacy as a supporter of the LGBTQ+ community. During his shows, Harry can often be seen waving around the pride flag known as the rainbow flag. Harry has additionally supported organizations including Little Princess Trust and Young Survival Coalition. Now, let's discuss what Harry is involved in nowadays and how it relates to what we currently know. A recent video circulating of the late-night talking singer has just been debunked, and it turns out that he did not spit on Chris Pine after all. Despite the internet being all for Harry salivating on Chris or aggressively against it, both Chris and his representative have stepped forward to avidly deny this incident, with the latter referring to it as a complete fabrication for The Hollywood Reporter. Quote, "This is a ridiculous story and the result of an odd online illusion that is clearly deceiving and allows for foolish speculation. Just to be clear, Harry Styles did not spit on Chris Pine. There is nothing but respect between these two men, and any suggestion otherwise is a blatant attempt to create drama that simply does not exist." Now that the bad headlines are out the way, let's get into the good ones. Harry is making recent waves in Hollywood history. Aside from his Dunkirk and Don't Worry Darling roles, Harry has generated quite the media storm with his latest feature in Amazon Studios' My Policeman. Harry wowed the crowd at the Venice Film Festival with his quote convincing case for the matching Gucci luggage set, where his latest romantic drama role had been revealed. Released by AS on Wednesday, we see Harry in the trailer opposite his co-stars David Dawson and Emma Corrin, who portray their characters being entangled in a complicated love triangle. The movie carries this narrative out through 2 separate periods of the 1950s and the 1990s. Harry's iconic role follows his character named Tom Burgess, who is a closeted gay policeman from Brighton who is living in a time where it is illegal to love who you love. The film's creator, British theater director Michael Grandage, revealed how he was drawn to the storyline as a self-identified gay man. Harry's appearance in the rom-drum will mark his second major film role this year after his Olivia Wilde directed Don't Worry Darling portrayal opposite Florence Pugh is set to release this fall. My Policeman will hit the big screens in October of this year as well, and then have a Prime Video availability to stream on November 4th onwards. That's been today's WN. Thanks for watching, friends!